Hello, everyone. Welcome to Carrow Road. You can see so still a few of the players and stragglers and families playing on the pitch, which always reminds me of every football club in England. You know, even if you went down to Trench Social that I used to play for on Sundays at top elite Norfolk football level, we'd all just go on the pitch with our families and have a kick around after our last game too. Always makes me think of that. This is it for the end of the season, Norwich's finale at Carrow Road. I'm not going to go into much stats and stuff. There are two elements to this video verdict. I'm going to try and not keep it too draw it out either. There's obviously the Norwich City element and the Teemu Pukki element. So let's go through them both. But from a Norwich City element, I'll get this out of the way first, I think. If you take Teemu Pukki out of this team, you would be really fearful. They have just lost today against a team that has been relegated comfortably to League One. Blackpool, I'm sure, will rebuild, find the manager they want, if it's not going to be Stephen Dobby for next season, and they will challenge in League One. And it will be interesting how they rebuild, of course. They had their chances to have won by more today, just like Norwich had their chances to have avoided a 1-0 defeat. But for Norwich to have played the way they did with the players they had out on the pitch emphasises how far off they are being a promotion challenging force. They are miles off it. So if you think that they are going to have this rebuild in the summer with no money unless they sell players, which will generate the money, and suddenly be a top 6, top 4 side, I mean, the organisation of the team today was absolutely all over the place. And obviously, that is David Wagner's responsibility. What I would say, of course, it was a bit of a haphazard game. There was nothing really riding on it. And all of the team seemed just to be trying to get Teemu to score. So I could understand that as well. But as has been the case for a while, they also looked absolutely incapable of getting Teemu to score. Someone said it at half-time, and I tweeted it, and I thought it myself, that you were looking at it at one point thinking the only person who could really set up Teemu here is Tom Tribal, and he's a substitute for Blackpool. And sadly, he didn't get on. James Husband did, which was nice as well, and he got a hug off Teemu as he went off. Tom Tribal had a chat with Teemu before the game today, so they had a nice little catch-up as well. So there's all sorts of issues. It took a matter of seconds from when Teemu went off with 10 minutes to go to a huge ovation for the crowd to properly chant again for Stuart Webber to leave. By all accounts, he is the man who will be leading the rebuild alongside David Wagner over the summer. We have been invited to speak to him as media organisations come the middle of May, which I'm guessing is then because they're hoping to have some really good news before that, and then talking about things retrospectively will look a little bit, what's the word for it? That wouldn't necessarily be the right way forward, because obviously there'll be new signings and things to look forward to. But we'll see how that plays out. I aim to be there, and I will have some questions. And I'm sure if you've got any questions, you'll let me know what they should be. But I'm sure I'll be able to think of one or two myself. So the great thing is Norwich don't play another game competitively now until August, and you can get full on into the summer expectation and excitement of a new team, and you don't know how they're going to perform. And that's always the safest part for any football club. So that will be what that is. But there's a lot of proving for everyone to do. We'll see who's sold and who stays. Gabby Sarah picked up the Player of the Season award. He seems like a prime candidate for sale if there's an offer that comes in that tempts Norwich. I felt a bit for Max Aarons, because this could have been his last game at Carrow Road, and no one really batted an eyelid because of Teemu. That's just the way it is. No sign of Sam Byram or anyone else who'd left. Obviously, Sam Byram. Michael McGovern was in goal. No, that's not true. Michael McGovern was in goal. I didn't see Sam, but maybe I wasn't really looking out for him, in fairness. Likewise, Kieran Dowell. Marquinhos obviously wasn't here. Isaac Hayden was on the bench. And there's someone else I've forgotten, isn't there? Which is very rude. Marquinhos, did I say him? He wasn't there. We will see how this all pans out. It'll be a fascinating summer, and I will be keeping tabs on it for sure. as it comes and goes. Follow all the social feeds, and I'll do my best to keep you up to date. But of course, today was all about Teemu, which is how it should have been. The guy is a Norwich City legend. He's one of the greatest scorers the club has ever had. He cost no money. He got a guard of honour. He got a huge reception when he came on. There was an incredible moment on 60 Minutes where a player was receiving treatment, and the crowd just started singing Teemu's name, and he was visibly, it was hitting him, and you could see it in his face. There may have been tears. His eyes were certainly reddening, and he just gave a little applause once he'd sort of just looked around and taken it all in, and he just felt it. And then we had and again he cracked up when he was speaking to Chris Gorham afterwards as well, and he it was just getting to him emotionally, and I think that's right, because it's, there's a lot that's gone on this week. You'll have seen all of the things he's done. I did a piece as well with Emmy and Daniel Farker and Paul Warren and Christoph Zimmerman talking about Teemu. The Pinkin did a video as well with some of his other former teammates, and it's clear the impact Teemu's had on all of those guys. They love him, and that, I think, just probably says as much. But I've been coming here since 1989. My first memories are 2-3 years before that. Teemu is up there amongst all of the players I've seen, and certainly all of the forwards, because when he played well and Norwich played to his best, Norwich played just some amazing football and some successful football, and it was a joy, and that will forever be told. He's one of the most natural finishers I've seen. I remember his first goal against Preston. I think I've said somewhere that his first goal was against Middlesbrough, and that's not true, is it? But yeah, his first goal against Preston, left-footed shot just in front of me here. Such a crisp finish. From that moment, you're like, this guy is such a good finisher. And of all the moments, which is why it feels like an end of an era, it did inside the stadium. That Farker on a horse got a rendition today, which was lovely. I think everyone feels that with Teemu disappearing down the tunnel, that is a big moment in terms of Norwich's history, and over, and a new chapter will begin, whatever that new chapter is. And yeah, I suppose the one thing I wanted to say, it's as I said, I've been here for a long time. I've been doing this job for a while, and I've used this narrative once or twice, but it's quite important to me, and this might be the last chance I get to mention it. But I remember that my dad passed away, big Norwich fan, just before the Middlesbrough game here at Carrow Road, which was obviously the first game Teemu got to play up front properly. He scored 1-0 win. From that point on, Norwich were amazing. The club were good enough to me and my family to get us all in and watch that game. And obviously from that point on, Norwich were amazing. Teemu was amazing. And it's weird that my dad didn't really get to see any of that. He wasn't aware of it. He didn't get to see Teemu do what he went on to do here, and that's a shame, because I think he would have loved him. And then I suppose when you get to the moment where he leaves, you think that sort of ties that bit up for me personally, if you can indulge me for a moment, as well as it ties up things for Teemu too. And they're the emotional connections we all have watching football, whatever it is, however it makes you feel. So I will miss him. Norwich City will miss him. But that conversation can be for another day. It was still a wonderful occasion for him, and that's the most important thing. So that's it for the season. We are done. We have an On The Ball podcast on Tuesday. We'll be live with all the guys, and that'll be it. Signing off for that for the season as well. So join us for that, please. I've got an auction raising money for little Tommy. I've got a signed ball signed by Norwich players, a proper genuine training ball, and also a signed shirt from loads of this season's squad, signed home shirt. That's got Teemu Pukki's signature on that one. We're taking bids, or I'm taking bids until the end of Tuesday. Just look on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook on my pages. You'll see the links there to them. So bids still open until then. I forgot to mention that after the West Brom game, which was silly of me, so I've at least remembered to do that now. And yeah, much like I said at the Hawthorns last week, this is it for Carrow Road for my video verdicts this season. Thank you so much following them, engaging them. I've had engaging with them, had so many lovely messages about them. I've always loved doing them. I don't know how I do them. Sometimes they're properly ramshackle and rubbish, but I do try and do my best for them and give you insight from the games. So I've always loved doing them. So thank you for engaging with them. It's been a blast. And as I look across Carrow Road, I feel I should get on with some writing and go home. And we will see what the summer brings. Until then, let's get rid of that. Look after yourselves, have fun, keep in touch, and I'll see you all for the On the Ball podcast on Tuesday night. Bye-bye.